Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. So I'm bringing some of the Black White games. This shit 3 today. This battle, as well as Pearl versus Caetano 93, and finally, last but not least, Ryza against Kevin Garrett. So without spoiling anything or going into any more detail, let's get into them. So the first battle was King John W against Jacob, as I said. We got some pretty interesting teams. Jacob running a pretty standard team. It looks like it has two steel types with Heatran and Firethorn, and otherwise a really standard outlook for a sand team. Ladio is probably Spec, Slander is probably Scarf, Tar could be Rocks or Utility if one of the steel types is Rocks, and of course a Pivot Rotom W. Yeah, looking at team preview, Breloom is a bit of a pain to him, but otherwise he's got pretty much all the bases covered. It could very well be Worry Seed on Ferrothorn, or maybe it is not a Scarf Landorus. In that case, it heals and helps against it quite nicely. And on top of that, a slow pivoting Rotom into Heatran can also do the trick, if it's not in rain especially. Beyond that, John W's team looking pretty interesting itself. A lot less conventional. He's got triple ground, which is something that both Solon and I used last week, pretty cool. Gliscor, Exegil, Gastrodon being the least likely member of those at trio, but on the same wavelength as that, we also see Celebi, which simply is not too common either. However, both Gastrodon and Celebi, as well as two other ground types, quite appreciate the presence of another Pokemon on his team, his second steel type, and that happens to be Magnezone, which traps things such as Ferrothorn, which you'll see on Jacob's team. And finally, there's also Tyranitar on his team to provide Sand, Pinch Yourself, Stealth Rocks, Pursuit, etc. You name it, it has it. So looking at the team matchup, I think it favors the King John W side quite a bit. While I think that the team structure is maybe a bit clunky on the King John W side, I actually really like how it handles the things here, with Magnezone being able to trap Ferrothorn, and then really that makes Gastrodon a nuisance to take out. And Celebi can do a lot of things, especially if it's like nasty plot with Earth Power, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case here. So again, it really depends on things. But also Gliscor in the long haul can be a pain in the ass once Rotom W is chipped in. You see two humongously good answers to the Rotom W in Gastrodon, and Celebi all can do is will whiff, can't do any damage. So yeah, let's get into this game, because it might be a long one to get this match. So we're going to see a Landorus T lead from Jacob and a Gliscor lead. So if you're Rocks Lando, you're going to go for it here most definitely, but instead he's going to go for Power Ice, or he's probably Scarf, or like a 4-attack favorite set, which is fine. We're going to see subtract again Toxic Orb up, and now switch to Gastrodon and Rotom W respectively. That's fine. Now we're going to see the Ferrothorn come on in to try and check that. The Celebi's going to come in and check that. And he wants to avoid the Magnezone. Thunder Wave is going to be the play though from the John W side, and Lander's going to come in and try and threaten that out with Future and going to do that. But Gastrodon's going to come on in, and Ferrothorn's finally going to come on in here. And now, interestingly enough, he's going to go for a knockoff, which I guess cut Scarf Magnezone, not Balloons. That's really weird. It makes the rain matchup kind of awkward. But anyway, we're going to see Hidden Power Fire here to 75, and Worry Seed's going to let it pull away, but no hazard set up. Landorus going to come in here on a Volt Switch. Nice play there from Jacob, definitely. And so we're going to see a U-turn here. No, it's actually going to be Rocks. Interesting. Okay, so I'm surprised he didn't go for that turn one, but hey, that's fine. Could be Scarf Rocks, maybe not. We're going to see Latios coming out in Scald here, though. I wanted to avoid the Ferrothorn or Rotom W take it, which is fine. And now Draco here actually is going to do a ton, which maybe could mean the Ferrothorn can outlast this. We'll have to wait and see. A Pursuit on this Magnezone would be huge. It's going to go Flash Cannon here. Rotom W. Yeah, nice play there from Jacob. Celebi's going to come in here again on what I'd assume would be a Wisp. Actually going to be a Hydro Pump. Perhaps predicting him to stay in or go to Exegil. I'm not quite sure why he went for Hydro there, truth be told. But he's going to go for Geek Drain here, get a lot of health back, and we're going to see Volt Switch. But it's only leaving Rotom W at 53, so it should be able to heal up nicely enough. Ty's going to come in to finally set the Sand up on a Sand War on turn 14. And now we're going to see Drill come on here and attempt to spin. It's going to come in on a Crunch, predictably so. And it's going to do 28, leaving it at 676 after the Stealth Rock is mostly taken out by, actually even more taken up by leftovers, it heals even more. And it's going to go for Rapid Spin as Landorus goes for Earthquake on a Follow and Protect. So that's going to lead up 89 in Earthquake Lock to Landorus. Now we're going to see Tyranitar double in as Gastrodon comes in as well. Interestingly enough, Rotom Wash is actually coming here, which could maybe try and take the burn. Want to take a burn if it's not toxic, if it's toxic, but not going to get that burn. Can Wisp, Pain's put up here. We're going to see if it's toxic here. Nope, he's going to go for Scald once more. And this time around, also no burn. So the water is cold for John W. It looks like he doesn't have toxic either. Pharaoh's going to come in this time around, take that Scald nicely, 9%. And now it's at 23. I wonder if we're going to see a double Tar here, trying to trap this Magnezone. Double Landorus instead, bit of a mid-ground. That is fine. Nothing wrong with that play. Nice. So we see a U-turn here. U-turn, yup. Now, U-turn here, Latios trying to cut up the Gastron, Magazine to come in as fodder. Not sure I understand that one too well, but hey, whatever works. Now we're going to see U-turn as Gliscor comes in, so it's looking like this is Scarf Landorus at this point. But W is going to come in now. But again, Gastron and Sully both do quite well against it. We're going to see a Protect here. And a Hidden Power Ice. Hidden Power Ice, Hydro Source, not Wisp. What? Oh, that's really unfortunate in this matchup for Jacob, because getting a burn off on the Gastro would have been really clutch. So Hydra's only do 18 there. I'm not sure if I really approve of that set, because Will was just so instrumental in a lot of early games, and he doesn't really have like a ton of Pharaoh to turn. He doesn't have spin either. So like, yeah, I can't approve of that. But anyway, we're gonna see. Unless it's in bar fire, maybe I thought it was ice though. Whatever. He went for the U-turn there into Gliscor, went back to Rotom. Now Rotom's gonna go for a Volt Switch there, as you see. Gastrodon is well above half now. It's at 70%. You're gonna Volt Switch here, maybe predicting Hidbar Grass, but it's gonna take a Scald. Yeah, so it's kind of a bit of a methodical game, but I feel as if John W is really hard to break here. And now we're going to go to Latios again. So yeah, this Gastrodon is really kind of threatening burns, forcing its hand on this team, which does well against a lot of teams that lack like Green Nicholas, especially defensive Gliscor if it doesn't have Ice Beam. Finally, the Magazine, interestingly enough, is going to be the choice of fodder. So he's kind of saying, okay, Ferrothorn, it's fine, but in return for that, the biggest threat to his team, Latios, is not going to be trapped by this pursuit. However, he's going to go for a Stealth Rock, which, in my opinion, was really greedy and not necessary given his like matchup, but it worked out. He's going to take another Draco for only 15%, and he's going to pursue trap him. The crit did not matter, so it's going to be a 5-5 game after that trade, and Rocks can be up for good to stay on Jacob's side. I imagine that Jacob will go for Rocks of his own here now, though. He does that as Gastron comes in. Interesting to see what he's going to switch to. He's going to go to Rotom W here. It's going to take that Scald for 11%. No burn again. So yeah, water is very cold on King John W's side, and looking like a Pain Split turn here. Could have went for Bar Ice and then tried to get like a Scald to burn and like Pain Split for even more, but this Gastron could just sit here all day and recover on off, seeing as it's not Bar Grass. So yeah, as we'll see, it's just Hidden Power Ice giving that damage there against physically defensive Gastron in all likelihood. It's called, again, not quite being able to burn this Rotom W. So we're just trading Hidden Powers and Scalds at this point with a recover mix in there for John W. Wisely enough. Yep, no complaints there. Finally, another Pain Split as well comes there. Scald, as we see. Okay. Now, we're going to see Hidden Power. Yeah, I'm going to just fast forward through the sequence at this point. Yeah, it doesn't really look like a ton is happening. We're just trying to fish for a burn. It's never coming. It's finally going to get a crit. Maybe Hidden Power flying. Oh, okay. I'm not too fond of that, to be honest. But regardless, you're going to get the burn there finally. And now on the recover, he's going to go to Pharaoh. So I'll put it back on normal speed. Now we're going to see the Pharaoh come in and go for a Power Whip, maybe trying to catch a greedy Extra Drill or Gastron. But he's going to go to Gliscor, which seems like a fine play in my eyes, seeing his Pharaoh so weak in Earthquake. So it's really threatening it. And now we're going to go to Landorus on a Swords Dance. Okay, so maybe he's scared of Hidden Ice. He's going to go for Protect here on a Hidden Ice. Even +1 Ice Flame probably doesn't kill it here, so he's going to retreat out to the Extra Drill, try and get that spin off wisely enough. And seeing as the only thing with Stealth Rock revealed in this team is this Choice Lock Landorus, that should be fine. Crit Hidden Power there, he's actually going to do a number to the list, which could help putting it in like range for Ferrothorn, have a Whip later. Anyway, he goes to Rotom here, takes the spin for 7, and then he'll take the Rocks as well, and Sand's going to negate Leftovers and burn damage, and then Protect here. But all that recoil is going to leave him in Iron Head range after all is said and done. The Fallen Protect turn, of course, happens first. And then the Iron Head's going to take him out from 10%. Extra is going to be all the way up to 70%. And now it's looking really good for King John W., who hasn't played necessarily a flashy game or like an overly confident game, but he hasn't messed up enough to kind of screw up this matchup dynamic, I would say. So he's sitting pretty here. We're going to see the Protect there, so I'm probably going to see Gliscor as Tran finally comes in for Jacob, a new Pokemon, but it doesn't look like he could break through Tyranitar plus Gastrodon plus Gliscor. Unless it has like Solar Beam plus Power Herb with Hidden Power Ice and all the timing right in the world and then some. And I don't see that being the case. He's going to Hidden Power here, probably Hidden Power Ice into the Gastrodon. He's going to Scald once more, and the water is still freezing cold. So it's only 9% to Pharaoh, no burn. Routes on off. Now we're going to see Spikes up, which could apply some pressure for Jacob. But John W. still has that extra open prediction there from John W. And it's going to go for the Worry Seed. And that is going to negate some health from the Gliscor right at the bat. He's going to lose 13%. You see, so we're going to switch out Extra here. He calls out with the power up. Nicely done there. Jacob making some plays, but John W. kind of misstepped to provoke that sequence. Anyway, Lander is here, predicting Earthquake is gonna be correct. So yeah, all right, some plays for Jacob, but it still looks like a real uphill climb with this taking rocks every single time. And he's gonna U-turn there, so it's not gonna take this out either. But he's gonna go to list score anyway, scared of the crit, or maybe spinning into the I don't know. He could just Earthquake there no matter what. He's gonna go Tran there and try and be faster in his blue score. Perhaps he's a fast giant, but King John W is not gonna risk that. Kind of getting his lower blue score. He's gonna go Gastrodon, and he's gonna get burnt on the first opportunity with Lava Plume, which is kind of showing that maybe Jacob has a shot here. Luck kind of turned his tables here. He's gonna go to Tyrants and attempts to muscle through the burnt Gastrodon, perhaps with a crunch, or even set up rocks here. He's gonna do that actually. Scald is gonna comment. Are we gonna finally see some more water on John W's side? No, we are not. So now 82% Gastrodon facing off a crunch transfer to 34% there on a Scald. Is this one gonna burn? Yes, it will, and it's not a Lumberry Tyranitar. In all likelihood, it's a Choppleberry given the team composition. So that is huge. Jacob's going to try and fish for some last-ditch effort crit, but he's not going to get there. Gastrodon's going to kill up. Personally, I would want Ferrothorn. I don't think a crit would have killed no matter what, even pre-burn damage compared to that. But I digress. He's going to let this Gastrodon get all the way up to full. I assume he's just going to recover once more here because he's burnt. And yep, he's going to do that. So it's going to be all the way up to full. This is going to die. Ferrothorn is going to come in here. And one good thing about that is Drill is really weakened, so maybe he can keep those spikes up, but it's not going to be enough to break through this Gastrodon, I feel. Drill, is it on a Power Whip? No, it's on a Spikes. Oh, that's killer, because now he's going to be able to get that spin off. Yeah, well, nicely played from John W. there. Going to get that Power Whip up here. He's going to get that kill. So he's going to go for Sword Stance here on the Worry Seed. Okay, I guess. And it revealed to be Facade. So maybe he's going to go that predicting the switch. I don't know. His Lander's going to come in here. So I'm going to see here. He goes for Earthquake. Okay. I don't really see why he's toying around here at this point. But I digress. Selby's to play here on a U-turn. So it's going to put the game in a 3-3 position. But again, John W seems really hard to break at this point. Especially if the Tyranitar has the right set, which we still haven't seen a ton of. Only Stealth Rock in Pursuit. So yeah, Worry Seed. Yeah, that's doing a lot of work for Jacob. Only did 22% with Earthquake, so it's probably relaxed. Which makes a lot of sense with a Tar and another Steel. Now we're going to see W to Tyranitar on the Landorus, leaving him pretty vulnerable to Earthquake on the Gastrodon or Hidden Power Ice. U-turn, mid-ground, okay. But can only afford one more Stealth Rock switch, and so that's kind of interesting that he used it on that. But he doesn't really have anything else for Gliscor. It's kind of awkward. Gliscor's going to come in here on a Power Whip, okay. That's good, but now do you go for the Worry Seed or do you go for another Power Whip? Tyranitar comes in instead on the Worry Seed. Okay, good play there from John W. Jacob really making a game out of this. I feel like John W kind of messed up with his plays. Now we're going to see Landers come in, and it's going to come in on a Superpower. So yeah, it's going to die off from 9%, but now it's a -1 Tar, so maybe Tran can come in and do something. But again, Tran can't break Gastrodon, so yeah, looking like John W still is going to take this game. And he's going to go for sub here. Okay, that's cool, but even if the sub is able to take this out, which it may very well be able to, with Hidden Power Ice, Gastrodon is still the threat. So maybe he goes to Gastrodon on, say, a Magma Storm. No, he's just going to fight off the Tyranitar, which is a smart play. Seeing as also it came in on Hidden Power Ice, so yeah. Oh, and it's Lava Plume, so maybe a burn. Can help like stall up Superpower. It's not Magma, though, so he can't get the damage return on Gastrodon. And then especially defense drop. He's going to need a burn here. No, Superpower's going to do like 50. Yeah, exactly, in the button. So now it's looking a lot harder because Trans is suddenly going to be almost in Scald range, and he doesn't have Magma Storm to get that damage off and stall out like recovers to get the Earth Power crippling. So he would have really needed like a substitute plus 3 attacks. Oh, he actually could get a crit here. No crit. So yeah, that's going to be game. He really needed the perfectly optimal E-Trans set with the right spread and some luck to win this, and he's not able to break through. Matchup was really good for John W, and he definitely messed up a little in the mid game, but he was able to prevail ultimately. Good for him. And we'll see Scald's going to break this up here. Speed this up is pretty much formalities at this point. Protect here on a Scald, yeah, it's fine. Scald's probably going to do like 45 to 50. It seems like a pretty fast trend. He's going to go Pharaoh here, and will this one finally burn? Yes, in fact it will. So yeah, that's a good game. So in a drawn-out game with some misplays on the John W side, perhaps. Jacob's going to fall short of breaking this team that was really hard from the break to begin with. Gliscor may very well take it out faster than Tran, but before we weren't really sure. So, oh, it is, in fact. So yeah, good game. John W's going to be victorious. No, it was faster, but no point risking that before. So yeah, John Dolby's going to go to 2-3. Jacob's going to fall to 1-2. Good game. Interesting teams for sure. Well played.